Qaid Azam Pot 325. In this same work by Ellen Brooke, Wavell is described as an extremely possible, overly intelligent journal. In terms of his testernity, Wavell was a commander in Douglas Haig mold, Woodrow White reminisced, and the confessions of the optimist about seeing Mountbatten before he left for India, and found him chiefly concerned with what he should wear on arrival. Writes White, they're all a bit left wing, aren't they? Hadn't I better land in ordinary day clothes? Mountbatten inquired, and was delighted when I said, no, no, you are the last viceroy, you are a royal. You must wear your grandest uniform and all your decorations, and be met in full panoply and with all the works. Otherwise, they will feel slighted, and that is what he did to everyone's pleasure. H. V. Hodgson has left comments on this viceroyalty, amongst which are the first point to make about Mountbatten's viceroyalty is that he wrote his own ticket. The announcement of February 20, 1947 was not dictated by him, but it was agreed word by word with him, and it arose out of the conversation that he had with Mr. Etley when the latter invited him at the end of 1946 to go out to India and, in effect, end the British Raj. Equally important, Mountbatten caused to be written into his mandate that if no constitution had been worked by June 1948, HMG would have to consider whether to hand over power as a whole to some form of central government for British India, or in some areas to the existing provincial governments, or in such other ways as may seem more reasonable and in the best interest of the Indian people. Such a comprehensive list of alternatives covering nearly all contingencies was without doubt the logically corollary of having fixed date of departure. More by so spelling out the contingencies, a public and an open license for the creation of Pakistan had also been announced by HMG. Philip Ziegler recounts Mountbatten's arrival in India and Nehru's reaction to it. There is a legend that Nehru was struck by the air of authority with which Mountbatten spoke, that a few days after his arrival in India, Nehru asked him, have you by some miracle got plenipotentiary powers? Suppose I have, Mountbatten responded. What difference would it make? To which Nehru answered, why then you will succeed where all others have failed. Whatever Mountbatten may or may not have said to Nehru about plenipotentiary powers, it is quite clear that no such powers had been conferred on him. As Ziegler has himself pointed out, nor if by plenipotentiary powers is meant the liberty to act one's discretion without referring to a home government. There is nothing else it can mean. If it is to have real significance, did Mountbatten avail himself of such freedom? On the contrary, not only did he submit to London his draft plan for the settlement, but when he needed to modify it, he himself flew to London to present his case. Mountbatten had been given freedom to act on his initiative as a man on the spot, which had consistently been denied to Wavell. The Attlee government, broadly speaking, gave Mountbatten whatever he wanted, and only because they desperately wanted out. India had to be vacated, was their highest priority then. Ziegler, Mountbatten's admiring biographer, has also painted a world picture of the last viceroy. His faults were on the grandest scale. His vanity, though childlike, was monstrous, his ambition unbridled. The truth in his hands was swiftly coveted from what it was to what it should have been. He sought to rewrite history with cavalier indifference to the facts, to magnify his own achievements.